San Antonio is a tourist destination for many reasons. Some people just stay and visit, some people stay forever. It is also military USA. This is Trey with the Cavalry Group, brokered by Real. Let's dive in. Now this list is gonna be my least favorite to my most favorite, also the least profitable to the most profitable. What are the amenities? What I hate about the area, what I love about the area, how much a house would go for in this area, and how much Airbnb price range daily rates it would be. The first one's gonna be the most popular destination, which you probably are thinking it already, is the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is one of the oldest tourist attractions here in San Antonio, so the hotel chains pretty much have that on lock. There's not a lot of Airbnbs in the downtown Riverwalk area where you can literally walk outside and look down into the Riverwalk. But it is not my favorite, and locals don't really go there, and I'm gonna tell you why. The food is not good. It's commercialized, and there's not a lot of local flavors that go into the Riverwalk food, at least that I could find. Getting around the Riverwalk is a little challenging because you have a route that's on the Riverwalk, then you have a route that's above the Riverwalk, and the bus transportation isn't the best. It is very, very touristy. You have people from everywhere, and if you want to experience the true San Antonio, the Riverwalk's not really the place to visit. A big concern for tourists and residents is the homelessness. San Antonio's homelessness situation gets worse. This person was struck in the head with a water bottle by a homeless person and said, "Do you want some water? Do you want some water?" There's also a lot of panhandling that happens downtown, which I'm sure other cities have it. So if you wanted to buy a property on the Riverwalk where all the famous restaurants are, it's going to start around $400,000 and up. There's $10 million penthouse properties on the Riverwalk, and everything in between. One of my favorite areas to buy a condo is at the Grand Hyatt. A condo like this for $405,000, you can't short-term Airbnb it because of the HOA regulations, but you can have a long-term rental where you have private entrances, you have steakhouse downstairs, entrance to the Riverwalk, and it's the best of both worlds, and you can park your car in a garage as a resident. Airbnbs on the Riverwalk are not too many because there are a lot of regulations with it. Here you have some that are $200 a night, and they go up to some King William houses that are really nice. But I would say around $200 to $400 a night is pretty normal for being on the Riverwalk. Versus a hotel which may have more amenities on site than Airbnb. The next best area to stay Airbnb or to buy is King William, Lavaca, Lone Star District, which is all considered Southtown, which is south of Houston Street. There's not too much where I don't like about Southtown. It is a little bit touristy now that people are discovering it, but the transportation is still really bad. My biggest dislike is the railroad trains that go through Southtown. You can be staying at your Airbnb, or if you buy a home, you'll hear the train blaring through, and they're not supposed to blare it right where they're in town, but you can't miss it, I promise. There is a city ordinance for trains not to blow their horns right in the middle of the residences, but you can still hear them. What I love about Southtown is the authentic Mexican Tex-Mex food that's there. The drink menus are amazing. You have a very beautiful part of the Riverwalk. You have these true King William style homes that butt up against the Riverwalk that you can go for a run or for a walk. It's really beautiful to go in and out of the Riverwalk, and there's access in Southtown. The vibe of Southtown is really laid back. Southside in general really has a I'm not in a rush, but I want to eat good food kind of attitude. 3 spots I'm going to recommend in Southtown is Friendly Spot, Battalion, and Blue Star Brewery. Southside is going to have a wide variety of range in house prices because there's houses that are not renovated that you can probably get for around $200 to $300, and the renovated homes really start in the $350s. This pocket I'm showing you here in Southtown I think is a really good area to visit. Homes start in the $400s, $350s, even $600, where you can buy and Airbnb. And the Airbnb in the same price range is gonna range about $200 to $400 a night, depending on how many rooms, the space. But any of these will be really close to all those bars, eateries, and all the beautiful sights. Southtown also has First Friday, which is super fun. Next up on the list is gonna be La Cantera and Fiesta, Texas. There's so much shopping, amenities, restaurants that are in this, and it's hundreds. There's an outdoor mall called La Cantera right across the highway. There's even more stores, The Rim. And if wine tasting is your thing, that is the start of the Hill Country, and you can drive right up 10 to Bernie to feel that old Texas town. Right down the road is Six Flags, which is about a 23-minute drive from Fiesta, Texas. Home prices in this area is gonna vary. Once you go outside of this 1604 loop, they do get more expensive and they start around the 400 to 500s. If you're inside the loop, you're looking around 300,000 for the homes. Apartments in La Cantera area can go for 140, 120, and a full pool house can be $400 a night. What I don't like about Fiesta, Texas or La Cantera is the construction's really, really bad. The restaurants and the stores are great, but the lines are long. If you're going on a Friday or Saturday night, you need to make reservations because everybody loves to go to La Cantera. What I love about La Cantera is it's not just restaurants and bars. You have Topgolf, amusement parks, Andretti Racing, which is a bunch of arcades, and there's a lot of outdoor restaurants. Next up is my favorite area. If I was gonna visit San Antonio and I wanted the most bang for my buck, the best areas, the best thing to see, I would go here, which is Government Hill, the Pearl, and Tobin Hill. The Pearl and Tobin Hill has access to the Riverwalk. It has Brackenridge Park, Farmers Market on Saturday and Sundays. You have the San Antonio Zoo, the Japanese Tea Garden, music venues, outdoor restaurants. It's so cool. You can go to the Pearl, lay your picnic blanket in, take pictures, eat some street food, get some oysters from the stand, and it's just awesome. It's definitely one of my favorite date night places. There's really not a lot of things I don't like about the Pearl and Tobin Hill, but if I had to pick, I would say you do have to pay for parking every time you go to the Pearl, and the construction on Broadway is very, very tight. They're building more commercial spaces, more restaurants, more of that rainy feel, Austin type bar streets kind of vibe. Everything is so walkable. Probably the most walkable place is the Pearl. Right now, what I really don't like about Tobin Hill is the construction. The business owners in Tobin Hill are furious at City Council right now because there's sewage and construction and sidewalk replacements that are happening that are really deterring customers from visiting the St. Mary's Strip and other places in Tobin Hill. Tobin Hill is known for its huge Victorian style homes, some of them 6-7 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, no HOA. There's a lot of really good multifamily. San Antonio College is there. Another complaint on Tobin Hill and the Pearl is the noise. Sometimes there's concert venues and restaurants playing music. I mean, you're pretty much downtown. Of course, you're gonna expect that. This part of the map that I'm showing you is the sweet spot, in my opinion, to be able to take advantage of both areas. One lot in these areas is $300,000, which honestly, I think is a decent price. Starting in the heart of this area is around $450,000 to $500,000, and you have condos, 2 bedrooms, around $450,000, $400,000 a little bit closer to Tobin Hill, $500,000 Tobin Hill, and up to over $1 million. I'd say entering this market, you're gonna pay minimum $400,000, but it can go up to $1 million. The short-term rental here is on fire. Whether you're gonna stay in the city, buy an Airbnb, make it an Airbnb, this is a great area. This Airbnb has to be my favorite because it is my Airbnb and we love it. This place we bought about a year ago for $400,000, brand new, and is on Airbnb for around $200 to $250. It has a deck here, and it has a rooftop deck that is out of control, beautiful, gives it a baseball view of all of downtown. You have other very beautiful Airbnbs that you can stay in and have very close access to all the restaurants, all the fun shopping. A bonus area is going to be the 35 corridor. This has home prices around $300,000 to $500,000 and can rent from $200 a night to about $700 a night, depending on where you are. The attractions are a little bit further away. You definitely need a car to drive around to the different attractions. You have the Natural Bridge Caverns Park, which is also a zoo. Then you have the Snake Farm that actually has tigers, lions, sheep, got a whole bunch of stuff. You have Floating the River in New Braunfels. There's also a lot of people that are staying in the 35 corridor to go to Austin, to work, visit family near the airport. The versatility in buying a short-term rental or staying is a lot. Homes on the 35 corridor go for about starting $300,000 all the way up to 5, 6, 700,000, depending how nice it gets. If you're going to stay in an Airbnb on the 35 corridor, I definitely recommend staying one with a pool. Houses with a pool do really, really well on Airbnb. It's a really fun place to visit. Even the city of San Antonio is proposing changes to allow ADUs, which are accessory dwelling units, to homeowners. The citizens complain that they want to do Airbnb, but they want to be able to build a structure behind them. Some people call them casitas or back houses. The citizens are pushing city council to push this where they can pull permits much easier for additional income. They need the housing, the tourist attractions are there, and it benefits everybody, but it doesn't benefit the traffic. This is where you would pull up the map to see which areas allow for Airbnb. Of course, I pulled up my favorite area to Airbnb. So there's two types of short-term rentals that the city of San Antonio allows you to pull. Type 1 is if you were to live in the dwelling and then rent it out. There is no density regulation according to the city. So if there's 10 houses on the street and all 10 of them have a type 1 permit, the city says there's no density regulation. A type 2 permit is where the entire home is available for a short-term rental. The city says that 12.5% of the block space can be short-term type 2 permit. If there's more in a higher dense area, you can apply for a variance with the city of San Antonio to allow you a little bit more. If you're looking to move around the San Antonio area, buy an Airbnb, stay in an Airbnb, our team would love the opportunity to work with you. Thanks for watching.